Karan Sohra with iFreedom Financial Solutions. I'm here to share a quick little market update on behalf of your realtor, Stanley. So let's look at the markets starting with last year, which I'm glad that it's behind us. 2022 was not a good year for the markets. U.S. markets went down over 20%. Canada a little bit better, but still almost down close to 9%. And the bond market went down double digits as well, which is a big deal for the bond market. So the question now is, why did the markets go down so much? Well, it was primarily due to aggressive rate hikes. March of 2022, believe it or not, prime was only 2.7%, and nobody thought that we're going to have prime where it is today. Fast forward to December 22, prime went from 2.7 to 6.45. So when you have rate hikes with this magnitude in such a short amount of time, it reprices all assets, stocks, bonds, real estate, and that had such an impact on market values of basically all these assets. Now the question is, what made the governments raise rates? And that's where we have to look at inflation. I've got US numbers, Canadian numbers are similar, but US markets tend to kind of shape the global economy. So June of 2022 was the worst point of inflation at 9.1%. Now, the good news is that since June, it has been gradually coming down. The target that the government has set out is around 2%. So we're still far off from the 2%, but as the higher months fall off, interest rate hikes have definitely worked and they continue to work. So I do feel that the majority of the rate hikes are behind us. We may have 1 to 2 in the future. So a lot of the repricing has already happened. So as bad as things were, anytime you look at on the other side of it, there's also just as great of opportunities. So if you look at the previous downturns that we've had in the Canadian market, when markets hit rock bottom, the following 12 months, it typically has increased on average of 36%. Now, if we look at the current markets, the bottom for us was September 30th, 2022. Now, obviously we can't forecast and we may have another decline, but if inflation gets under control and if you believe that rate hikes for the most part are behind us, then we should have already had our bottom and you can start to see a gradual recovery. But as a long-term investor, whether bottom has happened or happened sometimes this year, if you stay invested or if you get into the markets during these times, you get to participate in the recovery. So to finish things off, what should you do right now? Well, first advice is don't panic, stay invested. Typically, people make the worst decisions at the time of maximum pessimism when markets are bottom. That's usually when people get out. We've all heard the saying, buy low, sell high, but the reality is people sell low because when things are bad, we think they're going to continue to be bad, and then they wait way too long to get back into the markets. So if you can stay to your original plan and stay invested, that'd be my number one advice. Second thing is, how can we take advantage of some of these downfalls or some of these corrections we've had, is by rebalancing your portfolio. One opportunity is bonds, fixed income, which was basically a dead asset class for the last decade or so because interest rates were so low. And now GICs are looking attractive, fixed income is looking really attractive. And if there's a slight possibility we head into a situation where governments will eventually need to lower rates, especially if you get into a recession, a mild one or a big one. And if rates go down, bonds do very well in that environment because they have an inverse relationship. And the last thing to finish off is, if you are going to make your RSP contribution, it's better to do it sooner than later to get those to take advantage of the correction that we've had in the markets. And same with TFSA, depending on your income, one might make sense over the other. So talk to your financial advisor, whoever you're dealing with, and just make sure you review your portfolios, rebalance, make some changes, and take advantage of that. So with that, thank you for listening and have a great day.